Welcome back to Pink Popcorn. I'm Amy.
And I'm Kim. I don't know why I waved. I'm like,
Yes.
hello. Sorry.
You have to.
Anyway,
Okay, so today we're discussing Gilmore Girls Season 1, episodes 8 through 10. And
yeah.
yeah, it'll be fun. Should we
Yes,
just
we're
go ahead and
excited. These are good
start?
episodes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Get
Let's
into episode
shall.
8?
Let's do
Yes,
it.
let's do it.
Yes, so
Episode
Leavenworth
8.
Snow. It's cute. I want to say something from the beginning of this episode because it makes me
Okay.
laugh. It's Taylor Dosey. I don't
I
know why
love
I had to say his
Taylor.
full name. We love every character,
I
but
know
it's
because
because I think we just feel so connected to them. Anyway, but Taylor is funny. Um, well, I guess we can start. So the first episode, we're starting off at a town meeting and
yes,
they're
okay, is this
talking.
our first town meeting in this
It might
series?
be. Yes, I think it is.
Okay.
I think it is.
Just
And
makes
so
me
we're kind of, yeah,
happy.
we're introduced to that. We're introduced to the mayor, which it's like, yeah, I think for a long time I thought Taylor was the mayor and then he was the town councilman. I don't even know. There's
Yeah.
like a lot of confusion, but
He is the town
the mayor,
selectman and then he becomes
selectman
the
councilman.
mayor.
Yeah. Yes. Well, does he actually become the mayor? I don't know if he does.
Yes. Later he does because then Jackson runs against him.
No, he runs against him for selectman, I thought.
Oh, well, okay. We'll get to that.
Okay.
Okay.
So they're at the town meeting and the mayor is there and he's talking about the reenactment of the Revolutionary War battle, or like when the men stood out in the snow waiting for them to come. I don't know. And Luke is obviously upset about this. He thinks it's stupid because nobody actually showed up and they just
Yeah.
reenact it every year. And it's funny. And so then this part that it's just a random thing and it makes me laugh. Taylor is up there and he's accusing Andrew of selling drug paraphernalia to kids. And Andrew's like, it was a lava lamp, Taylor. And Taylor goes, there's no use for a lava lamp unless you're on drugs. And I just think it's so funny.
It's a
I don't
good
know. It's just a
quote.
good quote.
It
And
is.
because I'm like lava lamps were really in, I feel like in the 90s.
Yes.
We had one. We were not on
Yeah, and
drugs.
not all my friends, but yeah, some of my friends
But
had them in their room.
it was just like a popular
Like,
thing. But I do think people on drugs probably had them. I don't know. Because they were probably like cool to look at
yes, and then
when
you
I don't
get
know.
that. That's true.
Anyway,
I just love
just
that
made me
quote.
laugh.
Okay, we're adding that to our list of favorite quotes. And um speaking of that scene, so I think that's the first time we meet Andrew,
Yeah,
and
I think so.
he's a recurring character. He's not in like all the episodes or anything, but
But yeah,
he's
he's just one of
just
the townspeople that we know. And
yeah, and he owns the bookstore.
the bookstore.
Okay.
Yes.
So the lava lamp is good, and then what does the mayor say something about the USSR?
Oh yeah, the mayor is funny. Yeah, well, because Luke freaks out about the
Yeah.
reenactment thing, and then the mayor's like, well, "Why don't you go stand in line for what
Toilet
does he
paper
say?
in the
Toilet
USSR.
paper in the USSR."
And then he was, there is
Luke's
no
like,
more
"There's yeah,"
USSR.
but that's such
But
an old man thing to say. I feel like
it's true.
it's funny.
It is. Let's get into the episode more. Yeah, in this episode, it's Lorelai and Max have not gone on their first date yet, and they keep talking about it, but it hasn't happened. Um, but there's a big snowstorm, and Rory stays at Emily and Richard's for Friday night, and right, and Lorelai can't get there because of the snow. Well, then Max's car breaks down in Stars Hollow, and so they get to go on their first date. There's also some stuff going on with Rory and Lane are having some friendship dynamic issues because Rory is very into her new relationship with Dean, her boyfriend. She's all about that. And
School.
she's in her, yeah, and with her new school, and Lane is feeling left out. And so we'll go
Mhm.
through that.
Okay, so the episode starts, well, after the theme song and everything, it starts with Lorelai on the couch, like in the middle of the night, I guess. I don't know. And she opens the window and she goes on the couch with the blanket and the answering machine. What's answering machines are like, it's such a throwback.
Yeah, there's so many
Where,
throwbacks in this, which to us,
but
it's like this comforting, nostalgic thing. I can
yes.
see it being like with young people watching, being like, whatever, but we love it.
Oh no, I don't think
Yeah,
people, I don't know, maybe they care. But there's a message from Max and it's so cute. It's Max or what
Max,
do I say? Max Medina
Max
or something like
Medina,
that. And it's
and
so
she listens to
cute.
it again, and then and she's like all swept up in the well, one that this guy likes her, and then she knows it's gonna snow because she has her thing about I smell snow. And
Yes.
which should we talk about this? The I smell snow?
The yes, I smell snow. It's such a big like thing. I feel like
Lorelaiism.
it's such a big Lorelaiism
Yes,
that
and
people
it
quote all the time. I smell snow.
yes, and she
And
loves that snow makes it feel magical, and I totally get that, which I think a lot of people do. Also, do you feel like you can smell snow before it snows?
I guess like I don't know if I'm like on her level, but I feel like there's like the cold smell
Yes,
before the snow comes. I don't
it's
know.
sort of like a
But
dry, cold. Yeah, you can
yeah.
kind of smell it. I
Yes.
think,
And I love like when it snows, even if it's not the first snow of the season, if it's just like the first snow in a while, where
mhm.
I just remember as kids, like when it would snow on a Sunday night and we're like, school's gonna get canceled. Because I feel like, okay, I live out west now. They do not cancel school for any amount of snow, I feel like. But in
Yeah.
Indiana, they would cancel school for like 2 inches of snow. And it was so
Yes.
exciting. Well, and I think partly too is like it's humid, there's more ice there. That was a part of it too. Sometimes it would be icy. And so that was the danger of, anyway, I don't know why I'm going off on that. But
But
um,
yes, and it was so
yes,
exciting and
it
fun.
was so exciting. But I
And then
remember
we would
one,
have to
oh,
like
what?
in the morning
Oh,
we
like
would have to
listen.
watch the news and listen to the radio, and it would say like list the schools that were canceled. And now they
Yes.
just
Oh, it was
call
the
and and
best.
text and leave messages to the parents, but that just was
But
exciting.
yeah. Yeah. And yeah, so I just remember one night, it was like Sunday night and it snowed and we were so excited. It was like me, you, and then our younger brother, and we like went outside in our driveway and it was just like the perfect blanket of snow with nothing in it, like no footprints yet. And it was just like so perfect. And then we ruined it by running around all excited because we were
Yes.
probably
But
gonna
I
miss
love
school
it
the
when
next
it's the
day.
blanket of snow. Yes, and
Yeah,
when it's undisturbed and it's like crystally
yes,
looking, and when the
it's
moon's on it,
quiet.
and it's quiet, it like makes the air
It
outside
like
just quiet and
mutes
calm.
the sounds of the world. I don't even know
Yes,
how else to describe that. It's just, it
I
feels
think that's a
muted.
good description.
And it's, yeah, yeah, it's so
We love
magical.
it.
So I get
So we're
it. We
on
get
Lorelai's
that.
side. We get her. And she's all swept up in the moment and then listening to the message and just, oh, and then Rory
Hmm.
teases her about it. It's cute.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And she's like, how long are you gonna be listening to that? And she's like, until it stops being sexy. And she's like, oh, that's my teacher. And it's just, it's a cute moment. Also, this is
Oh, that's
something that I love with Gilmore Girls because Lorelai is fun and young, but she's in her 30s and she's dating, and it just shows that dating in your 30s can be fun and exciting. Like, I
yes.
think when I was younger, I was like, if I am not married by the time I'm 30, like that will be so depressing. But honestly, I feel like 30s are just good. Like they're fun. Like you're still young and you can do a lot and there's like but you have life experience, so it's good. And so it's just
Yes,
good. And dating
you
is
have
still
both.
exciting. Like, yeah, it's not,
Yeah.
it's
Yes,
not,
that
I
is so
mean,
true.
I
And you
mean,
can just
I
have
will
fun with
say it can be depressing, but it also can be exciting. Like you still get excited about things. Yeah.
Yes,
Anyway.
yes. Like even as an adult. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's so true. So I love
But
that
anyway.
scene. So then what happens after that? Oh, so Rory comes and gets cookies to take to Dean. Lane, Lane, you start to see her. being a little jealous of Rory and just kind of like getting a little ignored by Rory.
Yes, which I think sometimes can happen in high school. You are so caught up in your own life that you sometimes, like, sadly, put your friends off, which I don't know, some people are better at it than
Especially,
others, but
it's true.
especially
Some
what?
people are better at it, but a lot of us at that age, we didn't know how to handle a change like that. So when one of you starts dating somebody and the other doesn't, and I've been on both sides of it, and I know you have too. So I feel for
Mhm.
Lane because, ugh, it's just
It's
annoying
the
when
West.
when your friend is all, they're like in their own world in the new relationship.
Yes.
But
Ugh.
I've also been that person too.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
really
And it's
hard.
Yeah, it is hard because you do get so excited and sucked in, but it's so, yeah, that's just like a life lesson where it's just like so important to keep your friends. Like female friendships, I feel like are such an important thing, and like friendships in general. I think it's just important
Yes.
to have because those last and like well, they can last longer than like relationships. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just,
And even
it is.
if, like, okay, for example, if Rory and Dean had ended up together and ended up getting married, you still don't need to ditch your friends for the guy, even if he ends up being your husband, you know?
Yes. Your life is fuller if you have more people in it. I don't know.
Exactly.
There's a book that I haven't actually read the whole thing. I just have read part of it. I do it a lot. I start books and then I am like, I'll finish it eventually. But it's good. It's called Together, I think. I don't know. It just talks about loneliness and how like there are different types of loneliness. And so it's like you need to have like you have your romantic partner or your friendships or and like the community and it's like having all of those it can fill your life and if you have like
Yes.
two of those and you don't have one you can still feel lonely even if
Yes, that
you know
makes
are in a
sense.
relationship or like have friends like there are just different types of loneliness but yeah so
Yeah.
it really just makes your life more full if you have
That
and
is
less
so
lonely if
true.
you have
Yes.
different. Anyway,
Okay, and then
random
we have
thing.
to talk about Lane and her band uniform and
Yes. So we were
how
in
we
band.
relate. We were in marching band. And so we totally relate to
Although,
Lane and her
yes, the
dorky
nerdiness.
marching band uniform. I will
The
say
big.
we never had to wear it to school, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm like, what is, I don't understand any, like,
Especially
she's
the
just going off.
plumed hat.
Even if she had band practice before school, like, band practice, we never even wore them unless it was like a
Yeah.
dress rehearsal type thing. I don't even think we did.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
maybe.
Anyway, but I never wore the plume because the only time I actually wore the uniform was in eighth grade, weirdly. Because so we had marching band in high school, but the
Oh,
beginning of eighth grade, I was on the sideline percussion. I don't know
yes.
how, like, it was just so fun. So I was with some friends. I didn't even play percussion. But they needed a couple extra people. And so we got to go to band camp, which was so exciting because that was just high schoolers, but we were still in eighth grade. And so
I
got to
remember
go
that.
and it was so fun. But we
Because
didn't have to
I
wear the
was,
hat with the plume.
yeah, you didn't have to wear the
Yeah,
hat if you were on the
you were the
sidelines.
nerdiest.
I played clarinet and I always had to wear the plumed hat. But it was fun. Like, who
And I
cares?
played flute normally, but then when I got to high school, I did color guard, which was like the flags, and I thought I was
Yeah,
so cool.
you were cool. And you are because you can still do flag routines.
I did a few
I
years
love
ago.
it.
I worked at a place where I found out one of the other girls I worked with also did color guard, and so for our Christmas party, we surprised everybody and did a routine. It was so
That's so
nerdy,
fun.
but it was really fun, and I messed up a lot, but it was fun. It was good, and everybody loved it. It was such a nerdy
Everyone's
thing,
impressed when you can do something different.
right?
It doesn't
Even
matter if
if we
it's
were
nerdy,
messing it
like
up, they
it's
didn't
not.
even know.
Yeah,
Sort of.
they
I mean, I
wouldn't
think
know.
they maybe kind of knew,
I know.
but
So it's funny you my mom or our mom even had a framed picture of me with my clarinet and I'm like marching so my feet are sideways but I'm facing the front but my feet are turned and posed with the clarinet. Oh, it's so funny. I love
it
it.
was fun. I
So,
we loved band. Like it was just fun because we had friends in band and like it was fun going to contests and
So fun.
yeah,
Oh my
it was
gosh,
fun.
like the best. And
Anyway,
so definitely we feel for Lane because she just feels even worse and then she has to wear the plumed hat, making it even
like
worse.
she's sad because like Rory has all this stuff going for her and Lane is just stuck in her band uniform. Just
Yeah.
yeah, it's sad.
But I like
Anyway,
that Rory and Lorelai can tease her and she just laughs and it's fine. Well,
yes.
so then yeah, so we start to see a little bit of that with Lane and Rory and the dynamic changing. And so
Hmm.
Rory was disappointing in this episode for a while, like just
She
ignoring
was
Lane and
like
her
we
and
understand
Dean.
because she was a teenager, but also it is
Yeah.
disappointing. Like she kind of oh, she was kind of like a it sounds so terrible. Like the winners and losers of the episode, we were talking about this, where somebody's like,
Yes,
yeah, they totally killed it as a person in this episode. And Rory just kind of like failed. Not as a person
she
fully, but
failed.
like in moments. She had moments.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and we all have those moments of
We do.
failing. So this is Rory's. And
This is
then
Rory's moment.
of failing, which she'll have more, definitely, many more. But she okay, so when she goes to Emily and Richards,
Well, she
and
goes to school and then so then there's a snowstorm. So then
yeah, so then
they are
she's
like,
gonna
she needs
go
to.
and spend the night at her grandparents'. And then there's that whole storyline of them not knowing what to eat because the cook can't come. Okay.
Mhm.
This I feel like it was overdone, this whole thing. Emily not knowing, I mean,
Yes.
I know it was a joke, but like the stove is buzzing, not knowing what the
Yeah.
timer and not
Like,
knowing, not even like, I get that she is wealthy and has always had, well, yeah, maybe.
someone to take.
Even when she was growing up, I guess she had a maid and cook and stuff in her house. And
Yeah,
then
I
she
guess.
has been running this household as just like she plans it, she doesn't cook.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you be able to make yourself a sandwich? Like she could,
Yes, I think you can do basic things. Although the Kardashians, no, not saying that they can't do basic things. I think they can. And they don't have, I don't know, whatever. It's just, you know, how Kendall was cutting the cucumber and she was like
yeah.
putting it all. But
Yeah,
you know
it's
what's
like
great about that? This is random side. It'll just take a second. That she was just like, I cut it. Like when she was trying to defend herself, she just fully confidently was like, well,
she's
it
like,
was
I still
cut.
cut
And
it.
it was, yeah. I'm like, that's great. That's awesome.
That's
Anyway,
true.
sorry.
I like the
But
confidence.
yes.
But apparently Chloe and Kylie are really good at cooking, but whatever. That's a
Okay.
side tangent.
But they also,
Um,
I think, grew up somewhat normally and then got
yeah,
really
like I
normal.
don't think they
Okay,
always
sorry.
had
Why is this a side tangent about the Kardashians? So
because we love the
serious.
Kardashians too. But yeah, back to Emily. Okay, so I can kind of believe it, but to act like she didn't know where anything was. And even though the
Yes.
cook didn't show up, they still would have had the kitchen stocked. Like she would have had food in
That's
the
what I was
kitchen.
thinking too. I'm like, there could have been like snack food, like anything that was, I'm sure there would have been
Yeah.
something. Like it seems
And
weird that this wealthy family is like, all we have is a frozen pizza and nothing. Ice.
and
Like
nothing
there's,
else.
okay,
And
it
Rory
seems,
could have made, well, Rory and Lorelai don't really cook either, but
you know.
but yeah. So the
You know
pizza
what?
was
It's
cute.
actually
And then
becoming
the
more and more believable because
yeah, now that we talk through it, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of believable.
yeah, Rory and Lorelai don't cook at all.
But also to act like she had never had fresh Parmesan that Emily and
Oh
Richard
yeah.
hadn't, and they're so like well traveled and have experience.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure they would have had Parmesan before on, I mean,
Well,
unless
maybe
they
it
just
was the
never ate
Parmesan on the
pizza.
pizza that
Yeah.
seemed new. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
that's true. Okay, we'll allow it.
This is like such a
And
long
then,
discussion about the pizza. Sorry.
yeah. But
No, it's good.
okay, and so this scene, she's having like good bonding time with Richard and Emily. And
Hmm.
then they talk about Lorelai a little bit, and Rory's excited and finds the
Hmm.
pictures, and they start going through it, and it's cute.
Yes.
They're joking around, and like Richard teases Emily about Errol Flynn, right? said
Sure.
in this,
Yeah,
the
I don't
actress
know.
she liked or
I
whatever.
can't remember.
And then it happens so much in the show, which I know it's supposed to. The moment always gets ruined. Like
Mm.
they kind of joke around and have a good bonding time. And then there's the reminder that, oh, Lorelai ruined everything and got pregnant at 16. And so then it's like, oh, let's put it away.
Yes.
And then it's just, oh, it just makes me
Right.
so sad.
It is sad because it's like that moment has passed. Like everybody knows it doesn't have to be
Yes,
like this thing that is just like ruining everything. Like it really,
for
it
years
could
and
have
years
just
and
been like,
years.
yeah, well, then you came along. So that I don't know, like that
Yeah, like
it could
make
have
it,
been
I
more,
don't know, make it light and
but
move on. And
it's a show. It's like
yeah,
it has to be
yeah,
dramatic at some point. I don't know.
yeah, it's true. It does. And it's
But
okay
yes, it
because
does.
Richard doesn't talk about things, and Emily really is
That's true,
not good
yeah.
at talking through things. And they're probably of that generation where they don't go to therapy or anything, and they just like
Oh yeah.
let it
Not
build up
until
and
yeah.
oh, until the reunion
Until the year in the
show.
life
Yeah,
and like us. But yeah, they don't. And so it is believable that they would just
yeah. They hold
not talk
on
about
to
it. Like it
things.
tracks. Like it's not something I'm like, that's weird that they didn't do that. It's just like, ugh, why?
Yeah, it's just oh frustrating.
So then, yeah, they're doing the reenactment thing. Lorelai is going on her walk by herself because she and Rory usually go on a walk like the first snow of the season. But since Rory's gone, Lorelai's going on a walk and she's enjoying the magical snow and runs into Luke, talks to him, and then she sees Max.
At
He
Gypsies.
gypsies. But he's getting his car worked on because it broke down. And it's just like serendipitous.
Yes. Yes.
So
And
they,
then she tilts her head. She's all cute.
yes, the
And she
cute.
sees him. And so then they get
Hmm.
to have their first date. And she
Yes.
shows him around town.
And it's so cute. And they go get food and they go to the black, white, and red theater,
Hmm.
bookstore, whatever it is.
And they're just adorable and charming and have their banter. And oh, but there's a moment. Luke is out there being sweet to the old men, giving them their
Hmm.
coffees and teas. He's just like such a, a cinnamon roll or whatever. He's just sweet. And even though
Yeah.
he's grumpy on the outside, he
Yeah.
gets them all their drinks. But then he sees Lorelai and Max on their date walking, right?
And you can tell he's like kind of sad about it.
Yeah, his heartbreaking look. Oh my gosh. It's so
Yeah.
heartbreaking. Because
It
he just
makes me
like
sad.
stares. Oh. So then it's
Hmm.
very clear to the viewer. He
Yes, that he likes her.
and he won't
So,
even admit it to himself, but he does.
yes. Also, another thing that's happening while this is going on is Lane, back to Lane just for a second. At the band is hanging out on these steps, getting ready to do whatever they're gonna do. And she is just looking at Rich Blumenfeld because she like was trying to talk to Rory about this, and Rory was not listening. And she just like didn't have an outlet, and so she's just like looking at him and touches his hair. What? Like, okay.
Apparently everyone notices. Like, why does everyone
Yes, it
notice?
was like everybody's just like talking, and then she touches his hair, and everybody stops talking and just stares. I'm like, I don't think everyone would have noticed, but also he probably would have been like, I don't know, like some people probably would have noticed, but it seemed like everybody did. And
Yeah.
she runs off. She's like, oh,
But it could
and then
be,
runs away.
yeah, reaction. Oof, and runs, which, oh my gosh, I totally would have done like a dumb reaction like that. Because in the moment, you could have just played it off. If you were an adult that went back and could do that,
Oh,
you'd be
if
like,
you
oh,
were
there
like
was a bug
confident.
in. Yes, you
Sorry,
could just
yes,
make
you
up
could have
some.
played it off. Well, you could have even made a joke to be like, man, I love your hair. Like, no, well, that sounds weird. But
Yes,
like, you know, like
yes.
jokingly.
But yeah, but she's too inexperienced to do that. And we all would have at that age. And you
Yes.
think it's like the biggest deal in the world. And
Yes.
I guess I will say maybe that scene of everyone noticing, it could have been more like in her mind, everyone
Yes.
noticed. Because
Of
that's
what
how it
she
feels
was
at that
experiencing. Yes.
age.
Hmm.
Your
You think
experience and your
everybody's
view
watching
of
you.
it. Yeah.
And then you
And
start
really it
realizing
might,
as you get older, you're like, oh, yeah, nobody actually cares.
yeah, no
Everybody's
one
just interested in
cares.
their own life. Like
That is so true.
nobody's, yeah.
Yeah, nobody's
Anyway,
paying attention that much.
but so that happens, and then we can go back to like Lorelai and uh Max on their
Max.
date because they go back
Okay,
to
yes.
her house.
They go back to her
And
house.
he like asks to come in, and she's just really hesitant about it because she doesn't generally invite guys over. It's like a rule she has, which I think is a good rule if you're a single mom. Like that is, yeah,
Yes, and that
seems good.
shows she's a good mom. She puts her daughter first. She,
Hmm.
it just shows that like that's the
Yeah.
most important thing to her. And
And
Max is a little pushy about it. I mean, I know he's being flirty. What
yeah,
do we think?
he is being cute and flirty. And it's like, it's okay. Here's the thing. It could come off as like pushy. I've thought about this because I'm like, he does seem a little pushy. He's like, I'm just spelling tea. Like he's being sweet and cute. And you obviously know, like, if she would be like, I really don't want to, he would respect that. Like,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
not like he's putting her in danger or something.
Yeah, it's like
Okay, sorry.
Lorelai knew if she had said no, he would have like he wouldn't
Yes.
have
And
come.
like, she's trying to
No.
explain, I will say this though. So she's trying to explain that. This is something, she goes, this is something that I never, like, I don't do. Like, I don't bring guys over. It's not a thing. And he's like, no, 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 I totally get it. This is something that you don't do often. Like, he, like, completely, it's one of those things where guys just aren't listening. They're just, like, focused on getting what they want. And they're just like, yeah,
Yes.
no, it totally, and they don't actually fully listen.
Yes,
It's
he's like, oh, I
it's
get
the
it.
thing. I told you about this, right? It's the thing, the like, there's like that meme, or not even, it's a reel. I don't know what things are called. It's,
It's a
uh,
TikTok, Kim, not a reel. No, I'm kidding.
no, I think there's TikToks and then there's reels on Instagram. I don't know.
Yeah, but
Anyway,
you're still
it's this
supposed to
little
call them
kid.
TikToks or you're old, but
No,
whatever.
I'm old. Okay.
Hear it. I
It's,
want to hear
yeah, it's a kid with a jar of Nutella and he's spelling it, but like the caption says, communicating with men. So he's like spelling, he's like Nutull. I can't even spell Nutella. Sorry.
it. Oh,
So
ELLA.
he's spelling it, and he goes Nutella. And the person recording is like, what does that spell? And he's like, peanut butter. And he just like
Oh,
is like, and that is sometimes what it's like communicating with men.
yes.
Sometimes they're
When
good.
I'm,
Honestly, I have like guy friends who are just great listeners, but there have been
yeah,
guys that I've
but
dated who are just terrible. Like they, anyway, not that
yeah, they
that has
only
anything
hear
to do.
what they want to hear, or they already
Exactly.
decided what they're going to hear. Yeah.
Yes.
And
And
he does
so
kind of do that.
he says that she's like, no, I never do this. And he, so it's like trying to get that in his head. So it is a big deal for her, but it also is one of those things that he makes the point where Rory is getting older. And so maybe
Yeah, I
things
actually
could
like,
change.
yes, and I like his point, and I like that it shows their relationship. She already trusts him. He's a good guy. And then he's able to like kind of help her see that things are going to change since Rory's older, and it's okay. Like you have to, so, at
Yes.
some point, you kind of have to let it change. So I
Yeah.
like that she kind of
Yes.
listened and respected his point, even
And
though
it does
he
help
had
too
ulterior
that Rory,
motives.
yes, it does help that Rory already knows him too. I think that
Yeah.
is helpful. Like
And
he
she
already knows
likes him.
Rory and yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
so,
they're actually so cute together. Oh,
mhm.
Max would have
So
been so good,
anyway, they
but
end up going to the house and Lane is there because they just like
Wayne is
are getting coffee and like being cute and starting to go upstairs and then like Lane is just standing there. Like a creepy like and he's like, how many kids did she say you had? And she turns around and it's Lane. And
yeah.
this is actually such Lorelai is like the winner in this episode, I think.
Yes. Okay, I'm writing yeah, her
So
down.
this
For how
moment
she
where
handles Lane.
yes, but this shows the difference of life experience with dating and like things like that, where how Rory is handling life because she's a teenager, and then Lorelai as an adult is like, oh, I have experienced things and it's fine. So I love how she talks to Lane about it, and Lane tells her she touched the boy's hair, and Lorelai's like, hey, we all do stupid things. Some people get pregnant. I will say
Hmm.
though, this may be a dumb thing to say. Like, getting pregnant is obviously a much bigger deal. Like, if you're a teenager and you get pregnant, and that's gonna change your life, and like, it's a big deal. But part of me is like, is touching a guy's hair
Ah,
more embarrassing? I don't know. Like,
yes, I kind of agree.
like,
I
I
like
don't
this
know
hot
why.
take. No,
It's
I know
like
what you're saying
a
because
shorter amount of time that it affects your life, but it is maybe more embarrassing in the moment. Sorry, go
in
on.
the moment it's more embarrassing. Yes. Yes. Because it's one
I don't know.
moment that like is noticed or something.
Yes. And you
Yeah.
feel kind of creepy in a way. Like, I feel like that she hasn't talked to him, and she touches his hair and runs away. So I'm like, then you're kind of looked at as like a weird, creepy person, which I think feels more embarrassing than like
Yes.
getting pregnant.
Than
Like,
getting pregnant. Yeah, they're not really comparable. It's two totally different things.
yes, they're
Yeah.
so, yeah, that's true.
But she's just helping her see, try to put it into perspective that it's just
Yes,
one moment. We
it's one
have
moment.
lots of dumb moments like that as teenagers and as adults too. But
Yeah.
she's just so good and helps talk her through it. And
Hmm.
and then she's so sweet to let her spend the night. It just shows that's I love this too, the little moments where it shows that Lorelai, she's like one of the girls. Lorelai, Rory, and Lane are all three kind of friends. Like she
Yes,
loves
and it's
Lane too.
sweet because,
It's
yes, and she's her support and like, yeah.
yes. And that comes up later when she's gonna have kids, Lane, and she
And she
wants
has
Rory to be that
her
for her
Lorelai.
kids.
Yeah,
So cute.
and it's
But
cute.
and then so yeah, and it shows once again Lorelai puts her daughter and her daughter's best friend before herself. Even
Yeah.
though she wants to be able to be with Max, but she okay. What do we
Yes.
think of her letting Max spend the night?
Okay, this I was gonna say she was the winner until she was. Well, here's the thing. It's like, it's understandable his car's broken down. Like, he needs a place to stay.
Yeah.
But we've talked about this. Like, you have said this. Like, as a mom, like, you wouldn't ever want your, like, that seems weird. And Lane's mom definitely wouldn't want that. Like, right? It's a
Yes.
man that Lane doesn't know.
And even Lorelai doesn't know him that well. And
Yeah.
to have him spend the night, I just think, yeah, if Lane wasn't there, of course, like because she could have had him spend the night. But knowing there's a teenager
Yes.
there, I
And
think
it's the
I
thing, it's
wouldn't
like,
have.
he is a trustworthy guy, but yeah, she doesn't know him that well. And yeah,
And
it just
it's almost like
feels,
not even that the fact that something could happen, it's more just you feel like you can't as the mom. Like, I
yeah.
don't know how to say it, but
Especially like he's sleeping down. I don't know. Maybe it's like, but yeah, I think realistically, that would be a weird thing.
yeah, but I never
Like,
thought
it
about that
wouldn't.
until watching it more recently as a mom. I'm like, wait, she shouldn't have let him spend the night.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It
because
just
yeah,
is
when
weird.
I
Like,
never
because
thought of that.
even if he's a good guy, like, yeah, Lane didn't know him. It could make her uncomfortable. Like, there are just lots of things.
Yeah.
Like, it's, anyway. So,
Yeah, but
yeah.
it's still
But
cute. We still love the episode. So, and then the morning is cute. How she hears, okay, so she hears Rory getting dropped off and hurries and throws on her. I don't know if she has a coat, but it doesn't matter. She goes out on the porch and she's like, I have a boy over.
no, she has, no, she could,
A
I have to
boy
tell
in
you
the house.
something. Or no, she just runs out. Oh, yeah. And Roy's like, you have to tell me something. She's like, oh. Yes. And then they have a boy. She has a boy in the house on the
And then
couch.
once again, she's making sure that Rory is comfortable with it. She just wants to make
Yeah.
sure Rory's okay and not feeling uncomfortable at her own house or feeling weird.
Yeah.
And it's cute. It's good the way it shows Rory does have to like work through it in her mind. She's like, this is
Yes.
weird, but it shouldn't be. And then
Yeah.
Rory is okay. So toward the end of the episode, Rory becomes redeemed
Yes.
in two ways. because it shows her maturity the way she handles with her mom. She's like, I want you to
Yeah.
feel like you can date and have guys over,
Hmm.
and then she goes and talks to Lane, and they have such a
Yeah.
good talk. I love
Yeah.
it.
And it's sweet. Like she kind of realizes where she was wrong and like doesn't and like apologizes in the ear.
She apologizes and she doesn't get too defensive. Maybe in when they were on the phone, she got a little bit like,
Yeah.
"What do you mean?" But she thought about it overnight and she
Hmm.
apologizes, and I love that.
Yes, it's
And
great.
it's one of those conversations that you have to have with your best friends. Like there are certain friends that you don't even care because you're not that close and you're just like, whatever, I don't like her that much. But with this relationship, it's a lifelong friendship and you know that.
Yes.
And so you have to have those hard conversations sometimes.
Yeah. That's good. All right. And that's episode 8.
Yes, we really dove in there.
We
Okay, what is
did.
your favorite quote of the episode? The lava lamp?
I think so. I think that's the one that just stuck out the most to me.
Okay,
What
I
about
loved
you?
I smell snow,
Oh, I Smell
of
Snow is such a
course.
classic.
And then,
Yeah.
oh, when she at the beginning with the message and she's like, okay, while he's being sexy, he's being grammatically correct.
Oh,
She's
yes.
like, yeah,
That is
that
a good one.
helps. And then I
That's
also wrote
funny.
the part at the end when Lane comes out of the bedroom right after Rory and Lorelai's talk, and Lorelai is reassuring Rory, it's still just me and you. And then Lane comes out, and sometimes Lane.
Yeah. That was a good.
Those are my favorite
It's a
quotes.
good. It's a good episode. It's cute.
Yeah. What would you rate the episode? We want to start rating the episodes.
Oh yeah. I would say, what would I rate it? Like 7.5 to 8? I would say maybe an 8.
Yeah,
Solid
I
8.
would say an
No, I
eight.
don't.
8 is solid because you
I think
get
oh
some
yeah, go on.
growth with Lorelai and Max. Their relationship progresses, and you even see like some of the feelings with Luke and Lorelai with his
Hmm.
look. So I like that. And then I like the friendship stuff with Lane and Rory.
Lane and okay, yeah. I feel good about
Yeah,
the 8.
8 is
I
good.
was really just going off of vibes. I was
Oh
like,
yeah, that
yeah,
I
it
think that's a
feels,
great way to do
but
it.
yes. Yeah, no, it's good. All right, so now
Okay.
moving on to episode 9. This is
The
Rory's
dance.
dance. This is also a good episode. These, yeah. Ooh,
Oh, all of season
this might be a long episode.
season
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3 are just so solid. I love all of it. But
Yes, they are. So Rory's dance. So first off, we start this episode off there at Friday night dinner with just Rory, Lorelai, and Emily.
mhm.
And I do want to say, I think this episode, I think it was this one where she has the avocado on her plate and she doesn't like
Who
it.
doesn't like
I
avocado, by the way?
okay,
But okay.
yeah. Well, weirdly in high school, I remember going to eat at like a Mexican restaurant in our town with friends, and we would go not regularly, but like, regularly, and I would get a taco salad. It's like it's just a lame order, but no, it was good. Anyway, I would get a taco
You're a
salad
lame
every time, and
orderer.
I would ask them to take off the avocado or the guacamole, which blows my mind because I'm like, I love
I
avocado
know.
so much. I love guacamole, and I cannot get enough. Those are things I buy avocados every week. Like I
Yes.
always have avocados in my house.
But
I
okay, do you think that what didn't avocados become like everybody had to eat avocados? Like,
Yes, but I think it was when I was a missionary in Brazil. I think
oh
that's when it
yeah,
changed for me. I was
for
like, I love
you.
avocados. Also, they have avocado trees just in the middle of the street, and they're giant avocados. You know how like streets have like the median thing? It wasn't like a busy street, it was like a small street,
Yes.
whatever. But in the middle of the road, there were like these patches of grass. This wasn't everywhere, but it was like in some parts there were, yeah, just these huge trees
Oh,
with
that's
avocados just like
fun.
falling off of them. And they were
That's so
massive. And
cool.
sometimes we had like boxes of avocados that people brought us. I was like, this is, and mangoes. People once brought us
Mhm.
like a huge box of mangoes. And I'm like, that's,
Nice.
oh, I miss it. Anyway, but yes. And so then after that, I just like avocado on everything, guacamole, everything. Like, I don't even
Yeah.
know how I didn't like it. But yes, it is a thing. And I like to try to pretend that I didn't jump on the bandwagon because I'm not a fan of that. I'm just gonna
Jumping on the bandwagon.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't
but
want to. What?
yeah, but if you like it, you have to like it, even if everyone else likes it. It's okay.
Yeah, it's true. If you like it, then go for it. If you were a fan of Stanley cups when they were like huge, I feel like they've
Yeah,
kind of gone out of like go for it. But I like
it's
things like
true.
that I'm like, I don't want to jump on a bandwagon unless I like am really into
Yeah,
it.
but
But
then sometimes I end
anyway.
up jumping on the bandwagon. Actually, most of the time, I
Yeah,
do.
sometimes I'll do it, but it'll be like way later because I like held off for so long trying not to jump
Yeah,
on it.
especially maybe if it's on sale. But anyway, yes.
Avocado, I was there.
Yes.
But the avocado, so Lorelai doesn't
Mhm.
like avocado, and I think that may have influenced my decision to not like avocado when I was younger, which is very
That
weird
makes
and
sense
dumb.
because no, that's what you do at that age though, because you were young and you loved
Hmm.
Gilmore Girls, and so you just kind of based it off that. Oh, I guess I don't like
Yeah.
avocado either.
Yes. And it was so dumb. But anyway, so now we can continue on with the episode. It was just like a random side thing.
That is funny that that affected your life that much.
I know.
But yes, so Rory's winter dance. She doesn't want to go at first, but I think it's because she just assumes it's going to be dumb. And then I love Lorelai is the best mom. She talks to Rory about like I want you to go if you even if you think you might not like it, like you can try it. You don't know until you go type of thing. And so she decides she wants to go. She asks Dean. Dean is just dumb and not cute sometimes.
I know.
I
Well, this
mean,
is the thing, is he acts like he's too cool to go to a school dance. And I'm like, that is dumb. I mean,
that
growing
is
up in a
dumb.
small town, I feel like a lot of people, like, we didn't have a lot to do. So maybe people were like, yeah, we're gonna go to dances and it'll be fun. Even though I'm sure there were people who didn't want to go,
Oh yeah.
but I feel like it
And
was something fun to
okay,
do.
it made me laugh when he says, "Well, I'm not a big joiner." Like he's trying to be just sort
Cool.
of cool and independent thinking, but that's
Like we
that
are with our not refusal to jump on bandwagons.
yeah.
So
Well,
we're not big
you're
joiners.
refused more than
I
me.
refuse.
So that was funny with Dean, but then he, of course, takes her to the dance. She's cute.
Hmm.
Lorelai makes her dress.
Yes. Also, sorry, there's just one small thing that I like in this episode that it's just with Lane. They're walking and it's before Laura or Rory asks Dean to go. And they're walking and talking about how like Lane, I think, calls Dean her boyfriend, like Rory's boyfriend. She's like, he's not my boyfriend. And she's like, well, what is he then? She's like, I don't know. He's like, he's my gentleman caller. She goes, okay, Blanche. And I just love or that I can't even talk. I
Reference.
love that quote. Yeah.
That's a good
And the
quote.
reference, I guess,
Yes.
but
Okay,
like the
Blanche.
whole, but the whole gentleman caller thing too.
Yeah,
I love
it's
it. It's
cute.
so funny.
It's my
Okay,
gentleman
anyway,
caller. But it
sorry, I'm
is
all over the place.
no, it's good. And it's cute because it shows like she's not sure if he's your boyfriend yet, and you don't know what to call
Yes.
it, and you don't want to make it too
Weird
big of a
face. Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to be the one to make it a
Yes,
big
and you don't
thing
want
if it's
to
not a big thing to the
act
other
like
person.
exactly. And you don't want it to seem like you care more than they do and want to
Yes.
call it
Yeah, you don't
that.
want to be. Hmm.
But it is the best
Yeah.
once you have a boyfriend. It's so fun to have a boyfriend in high school and to call him your
Hmm.
boyfriend.
I
It's
know.
so
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so Lorelai makes the dress for Rory. It's very cute. All the dresses, by the way, at the dance are they're kind of 90s, but I think the year was 2000, right?
Yeah,
Because
because she
Rory
graduated in
graduated.
2004
I
and
thought it was
this
03.
was
She graduates in
I'm
03.
like, she graduated in 2004. She
Maybe
did.
it is 04, but
Because
the
she
point
graduated,
is,
no, she did. It was 2003 that she graduated
okay,
because I think she graduated college in 2007, which is when I graduated high school.
yes.
So it's like I was 4 years
Yep.
behind her. Yeah.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
And so
So,
that makes sense. Like 2000, 2001, it's still that like spaghetti strap dresses and the little, I don't know,
yeah.
hair, doesn't matter. So the styles are cute. Rory's dress is a little more, it has like the cap
Yeah, well,
sleeve type thing.
hers, not, it doesn't have a cap sleeve. It goes across like this,
Oh
remember?
yeah,
And it
like this.
has the,
But it fits
yeah.
Rory, don't you think? Because she is a
Yeah.
little more,
And it's
she's
cute. Like,
not.
and I like the dress because I feel like it looks like it could have been made by her mom,
Hmm.
but it's still really
Hmm.
pretty. And so,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I love Emily's reference to The Sound of Music. When Lorelai tells her
Um,
she's making Rory's dress, she goes, "You're not using the curtains, are you?"
oh, yes, that's a good one.
Okay, at the dance and coming up to the dance, or leading up to the dance, you see that Tristan really does like Rory. Or at least
Hmm.
he's kind of intrigued by her and wants her to like him.
Yes. Like yeah. And he like kind of wants to ask her to the date. Like, I think,
Yes, but he
yeah.
just doesn't know how because he's just
Yes.
always, he hasn't really had to probably because girls always fall all over him, which
Yeah.
I would have been that. Hello. He's adorable. And and even though he's kind of a cocky jerk, he's still
Hmm.
kind of charming and cute and you just
It's the whole
want
thing
him
where
to
it's
like.
like they can be cocky, they can be a jerk, they can be creepy as long as they're cute. Although I feel like as you
Yes.
get older, you do kind of let go of those things. You're like, you
You're
see
like, I don't
past the
care.
cuteness. I'm like, if there's a guy that's
Yes.
cute and he's a jerk, then
You see
that's
past
not
it. Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Not cool.
But
But in high school, I mean, I fell for the bad boy charm
oh
so
yeah.
much. So I would have been all over Tristan. Okay, first, Emily and Suki come both to see Rory get ready for the dance, which is cute. I love them both. I love that
Hmm.
Suki's there to
Yes,
help.
it's so cute. Yes.
She,
And it feels realistic because they're like best friends and it's just a fun. One thing though that I am like, for some reason it weirdly always bums me out when I watch this episode. I'm like, why did Suki leave? She should have hung out like and stayed and like, but I mean, it's for the storyline. But I
yeah,
was just like, I feel like if you're close and like neither of them, I mean, like Rory has or Lorelai has Rory, but like she doesn't have kids. Suki doesn't yet. And so I'm like, why don't they hang
yes,
out?
she,
Because that's how
I
I
feel
would
like
hang out.
they should have showed, maybe they should have showed Suki hanging out at their house more, just in the show. Because why
Yeah.
wouldn't she just come and
Yeah.
have girls' nights with them?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah,
Like
she should have stayed.
but
For this, I
anyway.
get it because they wanted Lorelai and
Yes,
Emily to have
Emily to be
bonding
together.
time.
So like that makes sense, but
Yeah,
it
so
still
Suki leaves.
always bummed me out.
Emily wants to stay, and then Emily thinks she has to stay to take care of Lorelai.
Lorelai.
Lorelai had a back spasm, which this is another thing. I didn't really get it until a
You're
couple years
old.
ago that happened to me. Yes, and I did. I had like this back spasm that in my back hurt for like 2 days and then it just went away. Like
No,
it
yeah,
was.
I had something happen. I think I just slept wrong, but like my whole like right shoulder, it was like so tight that I was just like laying in bed, like doing nothing because
Oh,
I'm like I can't move. It hurts so bad, and it's
yeah.
yeah, it's weird.
I guess it's part of
Happens.
being an adult.
Yeah,
So
it's lame.
another snobby thing that Emily says that I love because I love her snobby lines. She goes, "I'll go start some tea. Please tell me you have something besides Lipton." Like,
Ooh,
just
Emily.
why? Why do you have
Yeah.
to say it? But she does. Oh, I love her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
The
so
other
she
one
kind
thing
of
though
stays
that
and takes care of her.
yeah, but like when she makes Dean come to the door, that is a little ridiculous. I will say, like, right? But
Oh,
okay, no, actually,
yes.
no. When she makes Dean come to the door, it's ridiculous because there was no communication. But I have to say, he should have come to the door. Like, why did they agree for him to
Yeah, why
honk?
was their plan for him to honk? Like, you want to take pictures. Even Lorelai should have said that.
Yes.
No, have him come in so we can take pictures. That is
Like,
the
why
normal
is Dean
thing.
being such a punk? It's so stupid. Even punks in high school, I feel like would have come to the door. Like, you know what I
Yes.
mean? It's the girl that they like. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
You
I feel
come to the
like
door.
there is motivation when you like a person that
Yeah, even if you're a
like
punk or a
pushes
jerk.
you to go to the door. I don't know.
And I don't see why he wouldn't have wanted to because he already knows Lorelai and feels comfortable with Lorelai there. He didn't know Emily would be there. So
Yes.
like the plan should have been for him to come in and they take a picture
Yes, it makes
together
no sense.
and then go to the dance. And I just hate
Anyway,
the
whatever.
whole idea that he was that reluctant to go to the dance anyway. That is
Yeah,
annoying. Although I was kind of like that if it because it wasn't his school, so he didn't know anybody else.
that's true. That would have made it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I can see it. The hesitation.
my
Yeah.
boyfriend asked me to go to his prom and I wouldn't. I just had him
That's
come to
so
mine.
sad. That's so terrible.
I know. I know. I that's one of those things. If I went back, I would have just went with him. Like he went to mine. We were at different high schools and I wouldn't go to his because
We were so
I just didn't want
self-centered.
to be there with all these people I didn't know that well, be uncomfortable.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, okay.
But yeah.
So they go to the dance and Madeline and Louise talk to her. They kind of flirt with Dean. At least Louise does, right?
Yeah. So
And then
yeah. So sh sorry.
but they love her dress and her hair.
Yeah.
So she's kind of happy and she and Dean dance. And then Paris just hates Rory so much. Rory doesn't even do anything. Paris
I
is like
know.
telling everybody that my cousin had to bring me.
And then she's like, I don't have to. You just did. Like Paris is
Yeah.
psycho. Like, yeah.
Hmm.
Her
And
s-
then
yeah.
Tristan is jealous of Dean.
Hmm.
Okay, and then we get to the fight moment because they're getting
Oh my
ready to
gosh.
leave.
The
You
fight.
got
Yeah.
Dean is not cute in this moment. Oh my gosh, not
No.
cute. And he's so, oh, he's like trying to be tough. Well, then he's making fun of Tristan for acting tough, but so is he. He's
Yeah.
doing it too.
And
And
then
worse in his voice, because I'll kill you, idiot.
yeah, that's the dumbest quote. If we could pick a least favorite quote of the season or the
Yeah,
show,
oh, I
kill
wrote that
you,
down on
idiot.
my quotes. Yeah.
It's just, it's so unattractive. I'm like, do you really have to
Yes.
go there, Dean? Jeez. Like, you're gonna kill him? Like, really?
Yeah.
Even a threat to kill
So
is unattractive.
it's
I'm like,
unattractive
please
and
don't.
so dramatic and over the top. And
Yeah.
how do you know, like him saying, "Are you serious?" Acting it like because Tristan is more of the preppy guy, that for some reason Dean would definitely take him in the fight. Like, how do you know? You don't really, you're not
Yeah. You look
like
like an
in that much
accountant.
better
Like,
shape.
so he could have great technique. You don't know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I
But
guess he probably would
he's
do better than Dean.
smaller, but like he could, I don't know. We don't know.
Anyway, point is, Dean was overly confident, not cute, and then he looks like a vampire when he's leaving with his coat, his giant coat, also not
Yeah.
cute, and then like flips up the collar.
Yeah. It's
But it
not a good
is
moment for Dean.
no. But the moment, well, and I think Louise and Madeline kind of appreciate this. It's the dream to have two guys fighting over you, though,
It's
right?
true. Yeah. Like, I feel like when you're that age, having that happen would be like so good for your ego, I guess. Like, you just are like,
Yeah.
"Ah, just feed your ego."
Except Rory
But yeah,
isn't like that. So,
no.
because she doesn't need that attention, like she has a good head on her shoulders and she has self-esteem, and so she doesn't really want the
She
guys
has
to fight over.
self-esteem. It's
I know.
basically, we had no self-esteem in high school. I'm just
Apparently,
kidding.
no.
No. But
Um,
yeah, no,
but yeah.
she doesn't need that validation or anything. She just,
Yes,
yeah.
she just like wants to be with Dean and be like peaceful and calm, not have people fighting. So they leave and
Yeah.
have a cute time at Miss Patty's and just like are hanging out and talking and stuff. But then it gets ruined because they fall asleep.
Yep. This
Oh,
episode always makes me think of the Titanic because every time I watch that movie, I think maybe this time they won't hit the iceberg, even though it's a historical fact.
but you get
Every
so into
time
it.
I try, I'm like, maybe. And then it
maybe.
happens. And it's the same thing. I'm like,
Still
maybe this
happens.
time Emily won't stay, or maybe this time they won't fall asleep. It's
Oh,
just the moment
yes.
before tragedy strikes. It's,
Yeah. It's like a
I
happy
don't know.
time. Also, Lorelai and Emily bonded. They laughed a little bit. They
Yes,
about
it
the
was
banana
sweet.
toast and
We're
like they had a
having a
good
good
moment.
time.
And then it's ruined once again.
It's ruined.
So I love that Miss Patty's yoga class wakes them up in the morning. And then, okay, I know I've said this. Dean is so cute in this part. I know we just made fun of him and he's not
He
cute at the
redeems
dance, but
himself here.
I think he redeems himself. I don't know if you agree, but when they're running out of the or the yeah, Miss Patty's, and she's like, I gotta go home, and his hair is like floppy and he's holding her
You love the
stuff.
floppy hair, the floppy
I
socks. You're a big fan of the floppiness.
it's the boyishness. When a
Hmm.
boy, I don't know, he's just cute in that moment and he's like trying to help and he wants to go with her. He's cute. Like I think he is just better in that moment and adorable. And she's just like, no, I
Yes.
have to go home. Like, just you can't come. It's gonna make it worse. Because she knows mom and how worried her mom will be. And so she runs and
Yes.
the music is playing and she's just running in her tights. I don't know why I love that scene. She gets home and it's horrible.
It's bad. Bad news bears. Emily and Lorelai are fighting because
Mhm.
Emily is just acting like, well, because Emily thinks like Rory was out all night, so she's obviously sleeping with Dean, and so she's gonna get pregnant and ruin her
Yeah.
life. And then
Because
Lorelai's
Emily,
mad
in
because,
Emily's experience, that happened. So
yeah,
to be
that's what
fair,
happened. Yeah. And then Lorelai is upset that Emily's there to see this, even though she is defending Rory and she's like, no, Rory, I trust her. She is okay, like da da da. But then
yes.
Rory comes home and even though she hears that, like she walks in the kitchen and Lorelai is so upset. And Rory calls her out on it. She's like, you
Yes.
know, nothing happened. Because she's like, you're going on the pill, like, da da da. And she's like, you know, nothing happened. She's like, you know it. You're just mad that you, like, that this happened with grandma here or whatever.
Yeah. And it's
Emily was
true.
there to see it.
And
And it
that
is true.
feeling of someone yelling at you and then you kind of take it out on someone else.
Yes. But
There's a
also,
name
I
for
think
that.
in combination with this, I don't even know what I'm trying to
Combination.
say. Like along with that, her ego, she probably did have a lot of fear too, because yeah,
Yes,
she
and the stress of
says that,
that made
like
it
the
worse.
moment, the feeling of complete terror when you wake up and your daughter isn't in her bed, like that is
Oh
scary.
yeah.
And this was before, well, I guess cell phones were kind of a thing. They were very new. So Rory
Yeah.
didn't have a cell phone with her. Um, but
Yeah.
so it's like, yeah, there wasn't anyway.
I know. And so
So
then you don't know what to do and yeah, that stress and the fear makes it all worse. It's very heightened emotions and so and then she takes it out on Rory and just
yes,
yells.
on Rory. Yeah.
So it makes sense and it's well done. Like all three of them did a good job acting in that scene and
Oh
like
yeah.
it felt very real.
Yes. So yeah, so then that pretty much like ends the episode with all of them like fighting.
Yeah. Well, and about that fight scene and how you want it to be, you watch the episode and you're like, oh, I don't want this to happen, the fight and the tension and the
Hmm.
negative side. But that's what part of the show, it's so good because it has the ups and downs that feel real, but it's
Hmm.
still overall a lighthearted show, and that's what I love. Still have these
Yes,
moments,
I saw
but
something that was, I don't know if it was like just an article talking about an interview. It was like a recent interview that Lauren Graham was in, and she was talking about how she's like, I think it's just a show where nothing bad really happens. Not like nothing really bad happens. And it's true because it's like even though there are like the ups and downs, they do feel like real life, but nothing crazy
mhm.
happens. Nobody's like murdering anybody. It's like
Yes,
not
yes.
that kind of show.
Not
And so
that
that's
kind of
kind of nice.
drama. It
Yeah.
is, and it's comforting. Okay, what would you rate the episode? Or do we want to do favorite quotes first?
Either way, I think I would rate this. It is such a good episode. I think I would also rate this an 8, like off
Yeah,
of vibes. But
off of
what's
vibes. Maybe a
and
7
also just 'cause a 7.
for me
Okay. Yeah,
if
I
we're
like
going
it because
off of
even though
vibes.
it's like hard, I guess this isn't fully vibes, but it's like if it even though like it's hard stuff and it's not great, it's not like happy. I feel like it's good
Yeah,
content.
it's good for
I
the
don't know.
story. Good
Yeah.
content filling the story and like, yeah, filling it
Hmm.
out. And
Favorite quotes? Oh, sorry.
quote, yeah, favorite quotes. Cause I'll kill you, idiot.
So that is your favorite.
No, but
All
yeah,
right.
it's funny. It makes me laugh. That's why.
Yeah,
And I liked the
that's good.
banana toast when she eats the banana toast. What does she say? Like, please don't make me eat
I-
the, and then
Oh yeah,
Emily
please
tries
don't
it and she
make.
goes, "Oh my gosh, it's horrible." It's cute. Like, why did I make you?
Yeah. Yeah, those I think the Blanche one, the gentleman caller, Blanche. She's my gentleman caller. Okay, Blanche. Like the
Yeah, that's
that's one of
cute.
mine. So now moving on to episode 10. It's called
Yay.
Forgiveness and Stuff. This is a pretty good episode. I feel like not a ton happens in this episode unless I'm like,
Yeah, because it's mostly all at the hospital because
hmm.
Richard
Yeah.
has his what, angina? Angina.
Angina? Is that how you pronounce it?
Some people say it like that.
Oh,
And I think it's because they don't want to sound like they're saying vagina. So they say
there
they're
was
like
one time.
angina because angina sounds too similar to
I think angina sounds right, though. I think
I
it's
know.
angina, and I don't think it sounds like vagina. Also, I think that just makes me think of this time that I was like at this class and I had to read out loud, and there was the word vagabond.
Did you say that?
It was it was cut off, so it was VAG hyphen, and then the rest of the word. And I was reading, and I was like
Oh,
vag, and then I like I was like vagabond. And I felt so stupid and obvious. This was like 10
you were
years
in high
ago. And
school?
like, no, I don't know how, maybe it was more than 10 years ago. It might have been
Or
like, I think
college?
I was
What?
home, but I was still in college, but I was like home on a break or something. And
Okay.
anyway, so it was like,
Wait, so
I
you
just
weren't in a
felt,
classroom?
no, it was like a church class. It
Oh,
was,
okay.
and so I felt even
That's
worse
worse.
because I was like, great, I'm at church. China or like vag. I don't know. But it was like it was something that just stuck with me. And so I just was really embarrassed. And anyway, but yeah.
No, that's awesome.
But
I
it
love
was
it.
the class also had like older women in it. And so I feel like I'm like, maybe they didn't even notice. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe they didn't hear you.
Yeah, maybe they didn't hear me.
Okay,
I do have a soft spoken voice, so maybe they didn't. Anyway. Or maybe they didn't even
okay,
think of it being weird. They might not have anyway. Okay.
yeah,
So it's
I'm sure.
a random thing.
So Richard has something with his heart.
Yeah. So,
Or
so
painful.
first, so sh first, Lorelai is uninvited to Christmas dinner. This is Christmas dinner, right? Or
Okay,
not like it's not on Christmas, but it's their
it's like a
Christmas
couple weeks before Christmas, and it's their annual Christmas party. And Lorelai
Christmas.
always looks forward to the food, and she kind of makes fun of it and is resentful to always to have to go to her parents, but it's still a comfort and a thing she likes to do.
Hmm.
And so
Yeah.
her and Lorelai and Emily are still fighting after or they weren't talking after the fight because of the dance. And okay, I kind of side with Emily a little bit on this. With
Oh,
uninviting
really?
Lorelai, I feel like Emily was justified because they're on the phone. Emily tells her the time for the Christmas party, and Lorelai is
Oh,
rude.
actually, Lorelai is a butt about it,
She
and so she's like,
she
"Okay, if you
is.
can't make it,
She's like,
then
I have to work. I'm not gonna get there right at 6. I have to work. It's like, you're the boss. You can leave early. Like, what are you
yeah,
talking about? And for other things, she does leave early. But for
yeah,
this,
she
she
does."
doesn't make it a priority. and she has this
Yeah.
attitude that just bugs me. But
Yeah.
also, I get it, and she's still mad at her mom, so I can see
Yeah.
both sides.
Yeah, I agree. I think maybe it was a little over dramatic for a 32-year-old to do.
Yes, and then her mom, so Emily saying, "Fine, don't come." Like that feels actually natural as a mom
Yeah.
to be like, "Fine, if you're gonna be such a brat, just don't come."
Yeah.
And then Lorelai she could have chosen in that moment to de-escalate the situation and be like, "No, I'm sorry. I'll come and I'll try to
Right.
get there at 6." Instead, she just kind of let it get worse. And she's like, ah,
Hmm.
"You uninvited. You're not, what do you mean don't come? I'm not coming to Christmas." And just kind of, which she was hurt, but so was Emily. So anyway, they both
Yeah.
just can't communicate.
Right. Yeah, exactly. They're not good at it. But yeah, so she's uninvited to a Christmas party, and then so she goes to Luke. So Rory goes to the party by herself.
Mhm.
And then Lorelai goes to Luke's and Luke makes her a disgusting looking Santa burger.
Oh, I love
It's
this.
cute. It's
And she
cute that he
says,
makes.
it's cute that he makes it for her to cheer her up. He says something
Mhm.
about piping on cream cheese. And I'm like, who puts cream cheese on the burger? Why wouldn't you use
Well,
mayonnaise?
yeah, but that seems like a lot of mayonnaise. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
That,
And okay, maybe it's to get it to be the right shape because mayonnaise might be too globby
yeah, exactly.
or not
Too
hold the
gloppy.
shape. And he wanted the shape of the beard, so he did the cream cheese. Okay,
Yes. Yeah. So, but it's cute. And then
it's
they're
sweet.
at, so Christmas dinner happens, and then Richard ends up in the hospital because he passes out, I guess, or collapses. And so they have to
Yeah,
go. And so Lorelai gets the
and
call on her cell phone. So she does have a cell phone. She
she does.
like, but,
I
and what were you
think
gonna say?
Rory just has like a pager for a while and
Oh
not a
yeah,
cell
that's
phone
true.
until later. But but yeah, and this is a good way, like it kind of puts things in perspective for Lorelai and Emily after they're fighting. So it's a way like they kind of come back together.
Hmm.
And Emily she almost expects Lorelai not even to come. But it shows
Which is
like
crazy.
even
I'm like,
though
that seems,
I know, like it's her dad. Of course she's
yeah,
gonna come. But I think
yeah.
for so many years, Emily has felt that Lorelai doesn't care and doesn't really want to be around
Hmm.
them. And so I could kind
Yeah.
of see that. But it just shows that Lorelai does care and she loves them and she's gonna be there when it's
Yeah.
important.
And
Oh,
so
and
then
I
Lorelai
love
gets,
Luke. Oh,
oh,
go
sorry.
ahead.
Oh, yes, Luke is so sweet. He takes her to the hospital. He drives her
The
because
hospital.
Rory has the car. And so he is so sweet.
And he's good. His presence there kind of helps ground her
Yes.
and, calm
And
her down.
Emily notices she's like, what? Like,
Were
what
you
does
on
she
a date?
say? Yeah.
Were you two on a date?
And then like how they're like, oh no, we're just friends. She's like, you're idiots, both of you, or something. Is
I
that
like that. She just kind
what
of
she
throws it out
says?
because in these moments, Emily is a little less guarded. And
Yes.
so she's just like, oh,
And
you're idiots. Like, if you like each other, just date kind of a thing, you know?
yes, like she doesn't care as much about the things she normally cares about
Proper.
because it's like, yeah,
Yes.
because this
So I
is what's
like that.
important.
And
That's
then
cute.
Luke, it shows him and Lorelai just how much they are there for each other. He will do anything for
Hmm.
her. He closes
Yes.
the diner, or he just lets Taylor close the diner, whoever's there.
Yeah.
And I love that. It's another thing about their small town. They can just trust
That
each other
they
and
just know people. Yes. Also, this kind of goes back a little bit in the episode. So Lorelai, before she goes to Luke's, she hears something in Rory's room, and Dean is outside,
oh
like
yeah, I forgot about that
like
scene.
knocking on the window, and she catches him, and then they talk, and he's like, I want you to know like nothing happened. And it's weird because I feel like, and it's probably partly because of like the Richard thing happening, that she's just like, okay, like I'll just admit like I know nothing happened. But also it kind of
Hmm.
was like, oh, did she have to hear it from Dean first before she believed that nothing happened?
Yeah, she didn't
I don't
believe
know.
Rory, but I
But
kind of get that as a mom because you want to believe your kids, but then you also don't want to be so blindly believing that, like, you want to support
Yes, it's
them
good to hear it from the other
from
person
someone
too.
else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
don't want to
So,
just be that person who's naively like, oh, my kids don't do anything wrong. You don't want to be
right.
that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I can kind of see it.
Yeah.
And then
So,
also him tapping on Rory's window, it shows like he's obviously done that before.
mhm.
Did you ever have a boy like throw rocks at your window or tap on your window to
No,
Me neither. I always wanted that and it never
I
happened.
know. And I remember like at our old house, I was in like the back bedroom for a little bit when I was in high school, that like small one.
Yeah.
And there was like the deck on our like behind our
On the
house.
back porch, yes. So they could
Yes.
have reached that window.
Yes, I remember thinking, I'm like, this would be so easy to sneak a guy in. Like, but I was so good. I never did.
Oh yeah,
I,
I didn't either. And
yeah.
I didn't really sneak out. Maybe once or twice, but
So
yeah,
then,
him
yeah,
and
you're at the
Lorelai.
hospital. Yeah, Luke and Lorelai are cute. Oh, but
They have cute
then,
banter.
yeah.
It kind of progresses the Luke and Lorelai a little bit, even though she's still
Hmm.
dating Max. It just shows their friendship and that they would be good together. And you kind of are
Yes.
rooting for them to get together eventually. So I like that.
Yes. Hmm. And then one thing that I really like in this episode is when so Lorelai is obviously having a hard time going in to see Richard. Like she kind of keeps putting it off and like
Mhm.
offers to like go get coffee or something. I don't even remember exactly what she does, but she keeps putting off going into the room, trying to like
Yeah.
wait for other people to go in with her. Um,
Hmm.
and
And
Luke
Luke
kind of calls her out.
notices,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
he
so
knows
then
her so
she
well.
goes in. So they're left alone, her and Richard, and he was asleep, but then he wakes up. And this moment, I just feel like it's really good acting, and it's so sweet. And it's just
Oh,
like the sweetest moment where it's like she is looking at him and he is just looking at her, and it's like they just look like they both want to say something, but they don't even know how to express what they're feeling. But it's like they want to tell each other that they love each other, like they care about each other. I think it's like something like that where it's like, but they don't even know
yeah.
how to communicate that. And so it's just kind of like with what's on their face, and then people come in and it kind of interrupts it. Um,
Yes, it's such
and
good acting
it's
because it makes you feel like it makes me tear up just thinking about
yes,
it.
yeah,
So good.
just
And because it's true, like they're not good at communicating with each other.
yes. But
And
it's
so
like
with
he's her
that,
dad, and yeah, sorry, with that what?
the facial expressions, like that is a huge part of communication is body
Hmm.
language and facial expressions. It's like you almost don't even need the words, like you know what they were trying to
Yeah,
say. But it was sad
yeah.
they kind of couldn't get it out. Oh,
Yes, but it was just,
it
yeah,
was
it
a
was
good
like
scene.
kind of like heartbreaking and sweet. And I don't know, it was just, yeah, it was just a very
Yeah,
good moment and a good acting. So
it
that's one of
was
the
good
moments that I
acting.
really
And it
like.
was like maybe one of those moments where it helped Lorelai to realize even herself how much she cared about him. Like helped her to know.
Yes,
So it was good.
yes,
And
agreed.
then we have a fun guest star at the hospital, Jane Lynch.
Jane Lynch. And I feel like this was before she was really, maybe she was bigger and I just hadn't really seen her or anything, but she looks so young in this. Like,
I know.
and it's, yeah, it's so funny. And she's just like, what, the nurse or like in
Yeah,
charge of
she's
her?
kind of like a strict nurse that won't let Emily back. Like, ma'am, you have to fill
Yes.
out the paperwork and
It's so funny.
it's so
Because it
funny.
feels very un-Jane Lynch, the character, her character. It
And
doesn't,
I think maybe it was more that way back then at hospitals. Now I like how they do it. Usually you say your name and birthday and they give you the bracelet thing and you go back to the room. Then registration will come to the room and get more
oh,
information from you. And that's so much
okay.
better because you're not out in the
I
hall
didn't even realize
forever.
that because I don't go to hospitals.
I guess I'm thinking the
Uh,
emergency room because just taking the kids in for things and
yeah.
that's how they do it usually. And it helps that it's all on computers now and not just the paper
Yeah.
files and stuff. But yeah, so that was fun to see her as the nurse. It was just fun because
Yeah.
we have a lot of good guest stars throughout the series that you almost forget they were even in it because they were in bigger things later or
Yeah.
they're in bigger roles later.
Yeah. It's
And
good.
the episode ends with, oh, another thing I liked with Luke, she has Luke drive Rory home, and it feels very natural.
Yes. Because it's like he knows her so well. And that's just
Yeah.
nice to have like the people, she has her community that she can trust. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a nice
Yeah.
thing.
And Rory's comfortable with him and all that. And it's sweet that she stays to help her mom and be there for her dad. Then the episode ends with something very sweet. Lorelai gives Luke the blue baseball cap.
So
This,
cute.
okay, so this has meaning because it comes up in later episodes, and Luke basically wears it from now on
Yep.
until they're broken up.
Yeah.
And then he wears it again later when they get back together. So it's so sweet, their
It
little moment.
is
And then they have a
a
flirty
big deal.
moment again when he's like, oh, or when she said, oh, it looks good. Oh, good, how? Kind of a thing.
Oh yeah.
Something like that.
How.
So that
Although
was
he
cute.
did say it in a weird, good how. I don't know the tone.
Yeah,
It's
I feel
like
like
he
he
could have
could
been a
have
little
del
flirtier,
yeah, he could have delivered it better, that line. I
but it
agree.
was still cute.
Yeah.
Or
Okay,
judging the
what are
flirtiness.
our
I'm like, I am
I
terrible at
know, he
flirting. I
should
don't
have
know
said it
how I
better.
can judge someone else. But anyway,
No. What are your favorite
favorite
quotes?
quotes? Oh gosh, I don't even know. I'm trying to
Okay,
think.
I wrote a couple down. Well, so some of that banter when they were at the hospital and she says something about he doesn't look good because he gets sick seeing people at the hospital. And then she's like, well,
Oh,
you
and
always look
she's like,
good. And then she goes, oh, what? So I said you look good. We're not in the fifth grade. You look good, big deal.
that is
It's
a cute
cute.
quote. That is cute.
So I love that. And then with the Santa burger, no one has ever made me something quite this disgusting before. I thank you.
That is so
And
good.
those,
Also, I feel like I didn't write these down because we had just decided that we were doing this, so I wasn't like prepared in writing
yes,
down these quotes. So I
we'll do,
don't,
yeah, that's
yeah,
true. We're kind of, this
but
is a new thing, favorite quotes. So we'll
yes.
do better at it the next time. Okay,
Yeah.
what are we
And then
rating?
the rating, I will say, I think this for me, I don't know, like it had moments that were like a 10, but I think overall it might have been like a 6 or 7, the episode. Because even though it's
Yeah,
good for like their progress as a family and stuff, it's just not a lot happened. I feel like,
yeah,
I mean,
not a lot
obviously
happened, and you
the
don't get
big thing
a,
happened, but it just, I don't know. Yeah.
it took up that, so you don't get to see Stars Hollow as much.
Yeah, maybe a lot of the magic of Stars Hollow wasn't really in the episode, and so
Yeah.
it didn't feel as full of an episode, I guess. Maybe that's what.
Yes, I agree. I would give it a 7. Okay. And who do we think were the best and worst? Had a good, like, yeah, winners and losers of the episode.
Well, they kind of just go, I don't know, because I feel like at the beginning, Lorelai and Emily are still kind of losers, but then everybody in this episode everybody's a winner. No, but
Everybody's the
like,
winner. Yes.
so
Okay.
I
For
want to
me,
say
the
like,
winner,
yeah,
the best one is Luke. He steps
I
up
was
so
gonna say,
much.
yeah, Luke is a winner. He
But I
does.
agree that they're all kind of winners in this one. I
Yeah.
didn't have a loser in this one. I
Well, because
don't
I
think,
think even that might be kind of the point of the episode where it's just like, oh, everything comes into perspective. And so they all are kind
yes.
of having that
Yeah.
clear-headed stuff.
We
So,
can say the Jane Lynch character was the loser. She's mean.
oh yeah, she was
No,
mean. She,
no,
have you
but
ever watched her? She does the weakest link, the new weakest link, and she's so
oh, she's
funny.
so funny.
So she's
I
just
know she's so
mean, but
good.
it's funny. Anyway,
Yeah,
um, okay. So that is
but
episode
it's
10.
not actually mean. It's funny. Okay, but yeah, that was
Yeah,
episode
yeah,
10.
yeah. Yes. Episode 10. That's a good one.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's everything. Next week we'll be doing 11, 12, and 13. So yeah, so next week will be good, hopefully.
It will.
And that's all that we have for you
Okay,
today.
bye.
Bye.